Hi, this is Sam Manford with your C-Level Sales Training Tip number 20. And this is all about relating to people immediately, especially CEOs and high-level executives, and it applies to anybody. If you put people at ease, you're going to get more what you want out of them. And that's the key here. And we've got a simple system that I'm going to show you how to use here. Making people feel comfortable when you meet them is important, because then they'll open up to you, they'll tell you the kinds of things you want, you become believable to them, and they respect you. You know, you're more like each other, and people tend to get along better that way. And there's 4 traits that I've come up with over years of observation and testing and experience that really work to help put people at ease immediately. Now, there's a lot of books, programs, and things on social behaviors and all these kinds of things, but they're very, very complicated. You got to be a genius or a computer to work through them. But this is very simple. 4 simple traits. They're pace, I call it, results, risk-taking, and the social aspect. Now let's talk about how they work. Pace is how fast the person talks. Do they speak really slowly, or do they speak really fast? You know, so and there's nothing more irritating than a fast person speaking to someone that is a slow speaker. I mean, they just get irritated, they don't believe them and everything else. So I tend to be a 7 on the gauge here, and that's what you want to do. You want to rate it from a scale of 1 being slow, very, very slow, up to 10 being very, 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 very fast. So that's the first trait. The results are, how does the person want to hear their information? Do they want it just general, hit the high points, or do they want it really detailed? Give me all the specific details, give me the numbers, give me the actual locations, give me how it all fits together, give me the color, all the kinds of things that go into that. I tend to be more detailed, so I'd give myself about a 7 on the detail range also when I want to talk. And the way you can tell this is when the person's talking to you, you'll start understanding. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. The third characteristic is risk. Is this person a risk avoider or a risk taker? Risk avoiders really have to have everything presented to them, to make sure the status quo is upheld, nothing can go wrong, it's going to be on time, it's going to be within budget, my job is protected, this is going to happen with no chance of failure. Whereas a risk taker, they don't want to know any of that. They want to know, how do I hit the mother load on this thing? How am I going to win? I want more, and you've got to explain to them in those kind of details of how they are really going to succeed, and advance in their careers and everything. And the fourth characteristic is social. Is this person a loner? They get the information, they make the decision, and they pass it on to the subordinates? Or is this person what I call a social butterfly? Let's bring everybody together, let's discuss it, let's analyze it, massage it, throw it all up, and then as a team, we'll make the decision here. So, so you're going to have to work with that. I tend to be more of a loner, and I like to make the decisions myself and then pass it on, whereas, a lot of people tend to be more social butterflies. So I'd give myself maybe a 2 or a 3 on that scale. On the risk thing, I'm more of a risk taker, so I'd give myself more of a 6 or a 7 in that particular area. Now here's how it works. First of all, what you have to do is figure out who you are. For example, I just went through this. My pace is 7, my results is 7, my risk is about 6, and my social is about 3. Okay? And so you figure out what you are, and you just ask yourself those questions. Then when you're interviewing with someone, you're talking with them, and here's where you're going to have good questions. Go back and see some of my other videos on interviewing. But you have to have some good questions to get the person talking. Once they start talking, you'll understand very quickly what their pace is. You'll understand, is this person talking to me in just broad generalities or detail? Is this person a risk taker or a risk avoider? And you might have to have some specific questions to ferret that out a little bit. And, obviously you can tell if it's just you and he or you and she, then they're a loner. But if they call somebody in, or, you're going to have to talk to all these people, then, they're more of the social butterfly type. And then you look at where are the gaps. So if I'm talking with someone that's very slow, and they're a 2 or a 3, I'm going to have to adjust. I'm a 7, they're a 3. Wow, I better slow down when I'm talking with these people, or I'm going to get them a little uneasy. And the same with results. I like details. This person just wants to hit the high points and move on. Okay, so now here's the real trick on this. There's 4 traits. If you miss with one of them, let's say you're a fast talker but you hit all the other 3, it's not bad. It's going to be a little difficult, but it's going to be okay. But if you miss more than one, like 2, 3, or 4, you're dead. You're toast. It's just not going to happen. They're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to have all kinds of trouble. So you really got to match as many of these as you can. And it's real easy for you to do. This is all about you. That's the operative word. You're going to have to change your style a little bit for this individual. And it'll work beautifully for you because you're not changing your style permanently. This is not like asking you to change your religion. This is for this meeting and these interactions that you have with this individual. Now, here's the common situation that happens to most salespeople and people in general, networking or whatever. You be you. You're you. You think who you are is okay. You make no effort to change because you don't even think, should I change for this individual? I'm just going to be who I am, and you expect everybody to get along with you. So that's the common situation, and what happens is sometimes you click with people and sometimes you don't. Now in sales and networking, that's not good. You want to improve your chances of success, and if you click with some and you don't click with others, it really limits your success ratio. And it's always better to click with more people than it is less people. So this is the key for your success. The more you can relate to these people, everybody, the more chances of success you're going to have here. So let's check yourself very quickly here. You can stop this video anywhere along the line. Do you approach everyone in the same way? Do you always do this most of the time, or you never do it? You always approach people who they are and you change your style accordingly. Do you consciously try to pick up on the other's style? How often do you do that? You've never even thought of it? That's a 0. You never do it. Okay? Do you feel you get along with all your contacts? If you do, then maybe subconsciously you're doing these things, or when you feel you're getting along but somehow it doesn't click very well, you may want to take a look at that. So how often do you feel you get along with your contacts? All the time? Usually, sometimes never. And finally, when you don't click with someone, there's we got friction here. Do you always pin it on the other person? This is a weird person, or you have some derogatory comments about the person. You really think it's all about them. So score yourself 2 plus 3 minus 1 minus 4. Okay, and if you get a 3 or more, that's good. If you get less than 3, it means you might want to consider your approach and start thinking about your style. And here's something to help you along that way. This is C-Level Selling ebook number 20, related immediately by matching your chemistry. There's 7 pages of narrative, how to actively match chemistry, 7 complete strategies and techniques to use, full worksheet there to go through this with you. You can actually make copies of it and take it on your sales calls. And there's also a free ebook, Getting Past Gatekeepers and Handling Blockers, if you haven't picked that up already. And it shows you how to, what to do, how to do it, and how to feel comfortable doing it. That's what that taking to the streets part is so important, because it really helps you feel comfortable doing these things. And right down here, there's a little box you can click, and it'll take you immediately to that page, to this page right here. And you can get this ebook and your free ebook on Getting Past the Gatekeepers. Okay, hope this helps. Use it. It's really very, very powerful. Okay, good selling. See you on the next tip.